Mr. Carlson, CEO of Silvaro, and Mr. Wennerberg, a business consultant with EchoX. Welcome to Atlanta. It's good to see you here.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about what brought you to the state of Georgia. Why don't you start, Mr. Carlson?
Yes, of course. We are getting here because we are manufacturing a unique wood chip harvester, and we think that the market here would be good for that machine. I think it could be a good product for you here. So
is this your first time to the United States?
It's the first time for me for a business, but I have been here some times before on holiday, of course. Yes.
How about you, Mr. Wennerberger? Is it your first trip to the United States and to Georgia?
Well, I've been in the States several times, but this is my second trip to Georgia. I had the pleasure to be here 2 years ago, visiting you together with the SAC, Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce here in Atlanta. We had a very nice program, and we are actually here talking about the possibilities of cooperating between Sweden and Georgia about bioenergy, mainly from the wood sector. And therefore it's really fun to be back again, just dealing with those things in a more hands-on way, assisting now the Silvaro company here.
How do you help the Silvaro company?
Well, I'm working with an organization called EchoX, and we are based working in the West Sweden with a headquarters in Gothenburg. And I'm working as a business consultant in that organization, where we actually are assisting and helping the clean tech and environmental technology companies in West Sweden to improve their export activities and get outside Sweden. And that's why we're here.
Mr. Carlson, tell us a little bit about Silvaro, how it was started and its development over the years.
Okay. Silvaro was founded at 1963, but they were then doing works for industry around the company. But in 1990 they began to do wood chipper equipment, and they bought a forwarder from Logset in Finland and mounted this equipment on that one. And then the machine was ready, they showed it for Logset, and Logset began to sell this, but Silvaro was doing all the wood chip equipment.
The forestry industry has always been very important to Sweden, has it not?
Yes. Oh yes.
And what have been some of your largest trading partners over the years for the forestry industry? Would you say, like, would Russia have been a big market for you? Would Europe be a big market?
It's mostly Europe. We have been doing business with, for example, Latvia and Norway and Finland.
Have you done much business in the United States?
No, it's the first time in USA.
Describe your products.
My product is a wood chip harvester and it's unique in that way that it can go directly in the forest and harvest wood chips directly in the forest.
Is this the CS440 chipset?
Yes, that's right. That's the name of the product.
And was it developed in Sweden?
It's developed in Sweden, and we are manufacturing the whole machine today, from steel plate to a complete machine.
And who are most of your clients? Who do you sell the wood chip to?
The most of the clients are small companies, entrepreneurs that have contracts with other companies so they can sell these wood chips too.
And is the wood chip market a growing market for you?
Oh yes, it's growing very fast now. It's building more heat plants and pellets and so on. So it's rising.
Could you describe what the wood chip industry is in Sweden today? How are the wood chips used in Sweden?
In Sweden, the most of the wood chip today goes to heat plants for heating houses and so on. But it's also beginning now to use it for pellets, making pellets. it's a huge market.
And Mr. Winterberg, are you aware of new markets, growing markets for wood chips globally?
Yes, indeed. I would say wood chips, because of the volume of it, is maybe not exported so much, but it happens. But if you process the chips on the wood into pellets, then of course you have a very nice world market that is thriving and very big today. Actually, there are shiploads going from up from the Vancouver area in Canada, all around America, through the Panama Canal to Europe today, and it's good business. And I know that you have many interesting projects just here in Georgia now, where you're aiming for the European and the world market for pellets, and I think you'll be very successful. The market is growing very fast for pellets worldwide.
Are the wood chips part of what we're beginning to call woody biomass?
Oh, yes.
The woody biomass, that is made from the wood chip pellets. Is that correct?
Yes, it's growing. But Vandenberg is more expert on that.
Well,
Yeah, also the pellet, when the pellets industry started, you normally go for like sawdust. That's a very clean material, a raw material. But very soon, as the business is expanding, that sawdust will not be enough to cover the need for pellets. So you process the chip wood then into sawdust, or you grind it, or you have hammer mills, etc. for it. And then you can may produce the pellets from that fine material.
will you open a sales office in Georgia? I understand that you've been in Savannah. Was that the reason for your going there, to see where you might start in the United States?
Yeah, we can say this time I'm here. I'm just looking on the market and orientating how the market is here. But I'm intent to start a cell company for this kind of machines here in USA.
Do you think that Georgia might be a good place?
Yes, I think that Georgia is the first place I want to do business here.
What would be some of Georgia's advantages as you look throughout the United States?
As I look here, it's you have very much of forests here, so I think it's a good place to start with, and we have a very good cooperation with SAC Georgia for doing the market and so on.
How did you develop that relationship with the Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce of Georgia?
It's a Swedish-American e-days that we have in Sweden and here in USA. So I have been on these days a couple of times. There I have got this cooperation with SAC Georgia.
Have you been involved with the Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce as well?
Yes, indeed, very much.
And how have you found it to be helpful?
Extremely helpful. The way the SAC is organized and working with the local offices like here in Atlanta and Georgia is very important for us, because you have a very strong local network. They know their home market. They have lots of contacts. They can easily reach the right people that we like to talk with. And this has been proved this week when we have this excellent program organized by SAC Georgia, where we have been meeting very interesting business people and experts all the time.
What do you think is the future of woody biomass development in Georgia and elsewhere?
Well, first I would say here in Georgia you have such excellent conditions. I mean, with all the forest you have and all the biomass you have here that is available, that is an extremely good asset. And you already have some interesting projects going on. First, of course, pellets, as we touched upon before, but also, you know, you have a very unique, world-unique gasification project going on. I think it's called range fuels, where you're actually going to process chipped wood into other interesting things like ethanol and other fuels. And that is really the future, I think, and you are very much ahead of other countries there, actually. And then there are many other possibilities. You also have the electrical and power heating plants that you are developing, where you also need a lot of biomass, which would be very interesting for the processing industry. So I think you have a bright future here in the biomass sector, and we like to be part of that development, definitely.
And the woody pellets are superior to some of the other organic materials that are being used. Would you agree?
Well, I mean, the nice thing with the wood pellets is that they are CO2 neutral, which we really need, and they're also very easy to handle in a commercial scale. The technology is well proven, etc. So it has a very nice future indeed here.